The subject is Wrestling Dynasty. Good morning. With the Bloodline being WWE's best story in years, it got me thinking about more wrestling families. I'm currently on Peacock watching 1995 for all three companies WCW, WWF, and ECW, October 95 to be exact. Bret is no doubt to 3 stars. Here's a word. Bret is no doubt to 3 stars. WWF has and will be next to win the belt defending Kevin Nash. This guy's grammar is going off the chain here already.
Yeah, what are you the supervisor on?
Owen Hart is a current tag team champ with Yokozuna, and Bulldog is up next to challenge Nash for the WWF belt at the Next in Your House. So my question is, why isn't it any current Hart family members that are big in the business right now, or even wrestling like that? I have Neidhart's daughter, but she's just a good hand. Davey's son is pretty good, but for some reason WWE won't bring him back and haven't been signed to AEW, and Teddy Hart is blackballed. And all of them are late 30s. No Blade, Bret's son, no Owen's kids, no Bruce Hart's kids. So again, why isn't it really a third generation of Hart family wrestlers? Dude, you're talking about like from 20 years ago. Like the this is
what's the
just
question? Why there's none right now?
Pull your mic down. And the number one, the supervisor.
What's he saying? Okay,
I don't know.
What's
this guy's a moron.
What?
Okay,
but let me see if I can understand. Is he trying to say that why isn't there, third generation members wrestling right now? Basically, that it?
Well, why are the Hart family not more over?
Okay, because I think, let me just say a couple of things. Natalie Neidhart's not just a good hand; she's a great hand. That they've decided to use her like that's on creative. Petty, bro, he's a superstar, but he's crazy and nobody wants to him. And I really believe. Tell me what you think on this hypothesis, Disco Joe. I really believe that the mothers of these kids are like the wrestling business. Do something else.
Right.
We've had too much tragedy.
Yeah, I would not doubt that. We don't know, but the speculation is on point, I think.
Right.
Next one is from, oh boy, get the kazoo. It's your boy Durbin. Mike Durbin.
Not my boy.
Sleeveless Mike Durbin. The subject is Joe's mood. Hi, Conan and Glenn. I'm listening to a new episode, and during the mailbag, Joe is experiencing manic fits of laughter. He sounds overjoyed and has had a hearty laugh during each question. In the clip I've attached, Joe was not doing his usual courtesy laugh like he gives to Raven on the Raven Effect. This is a full belly laugh, even more boisterous than when he's on that unnamed show with hilarious comedians Hughie, the Aussie guy, and the Chadster. And the funniest thing is like Durbin put an exclamation point behind that, like I would read it out like with inflection, right? Did Joe switch his medication, or do you think your sponsor, BetterHelp, has helped Joe Feeney? Some Mike Durbin. P.S. NWA Sam Hain is on Saturday, October 28th in Cleveland, Ohio. Head over to NWATix.com or watch it on Fight.tv. Joe, do you have the clip ready?
Yeah. I want to figure out what he meant to call that, because clearly NWA Sam Hain can't be what it's called, right?
He spells it literally NWA capital SAMHAIN.
He's right. It's called NWA Sam Hain. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's a weird name for a paper. That's probably Billy Corbin being kind of really artsy. It's like Sam Hain.
That Sammy Callahan is coming to NWA.
I have no idea
he left MTech.
SAMHAIN. I don't know. Joe, play the clip. I want to hear if this is.
Why don't you text Durbin because he's more nerd like.
I did, but it looks like it's a Gaelic festival on the 1st of November that marks the end of the harvest season and the beginning of the winter.
Oh, it sounds like.
Who the know that unless you're is that an Irish holiday?
It sounds like a satanic ritual that James Mitchell should appear within the say
be the curator.
It says it inspired Halloween, and historically, it's widely observed in Ireland, Scotland, and
I
Oh,
said
there's
it
a
sounds
huge.
like some Irish. Is there a lot of Irish in Cleveland? Probably.
Hugely probably knows what this is, but we're not going to give him any credit for it though.
Or Durban. Ask him
Play,
what. He
play
just
the
read
clip.
it. He just
Play
read
the
it.
clip.
Yeah.
I'm
Play the
gonna play.
clip.
I got it right now.
Let's hear.
hmm
Billy Body is claiming it's your fault he got seats for AEW. He claims that you use your connections to get him stuck up in the nosebleed. He's a moron. I don't know if that. What
I don't know.
show
I don't
is
know
he
if
talking? That's not. That's not. It can't be a true story.
I don't know if that's true, but
true.
it's funny. It is true.
Yeah, you're claiming that you use your connection to get him stuck in the nosebleed.
Yes. I don't know. It's funny, man.
I doubt he would even say. He even report. Did he?
Okay.
Conan, what did you think about Joe's laugh?
Let me tell you what I think happened there.
All right.
A couple things are in play. He's definitely on Flexerol, okay?
Right.
Which is Flexerol. I've never taken it, but that's
No,
supposed to be like
Flexerol.
Xanax,
Makes you
right?
tired. Bro, it makes you tired.
Yeah, it's a muscle.
Okay.
It's a muscle
I
relaxer.
used to,
Yeah.
I used to take.
Right.
I took Somas, right? We all took
Right.
Somas, right? 2 beers and 2
Somas
Somas.
were very good back in
Best
the
buzz
day.
ever. Best
Right.
way to go to
Best
sleep.
buzz ever. Best buzz ever is the word, right?
It is.
Yeah.
There's 2 beers,
is.
2 Somas. Like, especially after physical, stress in a wrestling match and everything, makes you
Right.
feel like comfortably you go to sleep, right?
And bro,
But
the wrestlers are such experts that they would take it with an empty stomach. Remember?
Right. Flexerol was like Xanax Light. You couldn't
Right.
drink on Flexerol because it's like you just took the Flexerol, you got tired, really
Yeah.
quick, and just went to sleep. And it was
Mhm.
like it was
Right.
weird. It wasn't like a Xanax sleep. It was just like Xanax you just like out like a light. But Flexerol was like you're dozing off and then it's like
Yeah.
you're done.
Okay, so let me change it from Flexerol, which he's a big fan of, to nitrous oxide, the laughing gas, because I used to take that. I actually took it in Philadelphia, of all places. It was great. I think he was on nitrous oxide. Plus, here's the kicker. I think since we're talking about him, he wants to laugh extra hard so people think he's funnier than he really is. That's
Well, no,
just my thing.
it was. No, I think.
But the point here was though, Joe. Joe,
Yeah.
let me finish.
Yeah.
The point was though, you laugh more heartily there than you ever laughed on Raven's show, and you laugh really hard. You laugh for Raven, but Durban's making it sound like this laugh came from the belly, like
Yeah.
like
Heart tea.
so that's right, exactly.
Yeah.
So
No, I think I wasn't on any other substances that day, but I think just hearing about Billy's misfortune and sitting in the nosebleeds, that pleased me that much that you
but
got that
he
laugh
wasn't
out of me,
sitting.
so.
He didn't really sit in the nosebleeds. That was
No.
the problem.
I don't know
But let me say
what
this.
his story was.
Let me ask you a question, Joe.
Let me tell you what's funny about him. I don't know if I ever told you this story. So he went in there in some sort of disguise. I don't know if it was a hat and glasses or what it was. And then later he tried to send me this, or it was on the phone, one of the two, where he was like, "I can't believe I had to go into AEW in disguise." Hey,
No, you're missing the story.
Yeah.
The stories. You got the story
Yeah.
wrong. We're talking
What?
about the All In show in Wembley. You're
Okay.
referencing the others. Like
All right.
Vegas.
So there's another show, just so you know, where he went in disguise.
Right.
And then he got mad and he was like, "Yeah, I had to go into AEW." And well, you decided to go like that, not me.
Well,
they want to, it's not mine.
They want to kick. They were banned him from the show, right?
Right. They banned him, and if they
Word.
saw him, they were going to kick him out. And I know one guy wanted to.
And you could have gotten serious heat from that because they were banning him from the show. You knew they were banning him from the show, and you got him tickets under another name.
Right.
And he's still mad at us.
Right. Because he's never wrong. He's always the victim.
Right, yeah. That's hysterical, right? Okay,
Right.
next is some Brad Zawacki. And the subject is, that wasn't so bad. Question for Disco and Conan. Have you ever had a match with someone that you were hesitant or nervous to work with because they were known to be dangerous or very stiff? And after the match, we're saying that wasn't bad at all. Thanks, and that's from Brad Zawacki.
Check out it.
That's our Grit Baseball Company. Yeah, tremendous.
Yep. GritBaseballCompany.com. Yeah.
Yeah. GRITBaseball.com. That's good. Excellent. It's interesting merchandise because it's not like actual team Like you can't like they can't like
He doesn't have the
promote the team,
license, right?
but they can promote a like baseball oriented theme
Their
in the
colors.
colors of the team, right? So I've got a couple. They sent me some Brave stuff, which I wear. So like so yeah, it's cool stuff. Then it matches it matches. If I wear my Braves hat and wear their gear, it's a perfect match. So
Right.
Yeah, like you can get away.
I
You can't get away with using team names or anything. But for instance, there's
Yeah,
a
but he
company
works
in
around
town
and he
here.
does a great job.
Right,
Go
right.
check him
Like
out. Go check him out. There's a lot of cool there, especially if you like baseball or a friend of yours likes baseball. It's a great birthday
baseball
gift or
merchandise,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
baseball
yeah, it's
merchandise.
sweet,
Yeah.
and the shirts come.
Very comfortable. I've never ever
Joe
had an
hasn't met a
issue.
free shirt he doesn't like. Yeah, go
All right,
ahead.
Nope,
let me reference a
never.
I
question.
have. I
I
have
Let me
even wore a
most
Mitch
of Joe's.
Valentine shirt once.
let me
Ugh,
reference a question. The question
ugh.
mailbag. I've never had an issue with anybody going into a match because we always went over the match beforehand, and I've never had an issue going over with a match with somebody beforehand. So I've never maybe Conan you have because you've been up on top, but I've never had an issue where like the guy was like the funniest thing the person I had the most issues with laying matches out, even though it was funny, was Booker. Even though we always
Really?
had great matches and worked good together, he would always it was like a joke. He would always try to make sure he got literally all of his like everything, every move. And at my expense, like when we were going to the match, and it was actually entertaining laying out the match with Booker because he would always he was 100% offense, like was his mindset against me, and I would be like, oh, I gotta get my too, but it was funny. We looked at it was a funny competition, like laying the matches out with each other and stuff. But we never you never stiffed me or anything, But I never had an issue with anybody worried going into the match like I'm scared that this guy's gonna try to hurt me. I've never 30 years in business. I've never had that. I don't know, but Conan, maybe you're different.
I never thought, never had that problem in the U.S. and Mexico. What I did have problem is because I was very, very temperamental back then. And back then, bro, if you weren't tough, you might as well get the fuck out of the business. And what I did think is, am I going to end up getting in a fight with this guy, either in the
Right.
ring or in the dressing room or in the car to the next city? Because, bro, you have no idea how many times I've been in a car and two guys are just going at it, and we're like, all right, stop the car, get out of your system, and shut the for the rest of the ride. Usually drunk or on pills or something, but that happened a lot, you know.
Okay. Oh
So
wait,
yeah,
I this makes you remember. I remember this now, right? I actually did have the only time this was even brought to fruition,
crossed your mind. Yeah,
crossed my mind, is when I wrestled in Tijuana with you
right,
and our boy Alberto Del Rio was my tag team partner against those other guys.
right.
Where Alberto pulled me aside after we were laying the match out and told me, "Hey, watch out! These guys might try to take advantage of you in there." And I was like,
Mm.
"I can handle myself." I didn't think nothing of it, but I didn't think like after I went over the match with them, we did translation and stuff, everything like we were all cool. But he pulled me aside and said, "Hey, watch out! These guys may try to go in the business for themselves in there." But
Right.
I wasn't worried about it because like the conversation we had laying the match out was fine. But it was funny because
Not
Alberto,
only
like he,
that,
yeah, right,
the good thing about Alberto is
right,
if he told you that, he had your back. You know
right,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
If they would
yeah.
have tried to get it, he would have put them in their place. And bro, he was just a few years removed from the Mexican wrestling Olympic team, so he could go.
This was
Mm.
actually very, very entertaining because like when I Conan brought me into Tijuana, I wrestled and I was partners with him. I was like telling Conan, I was like, dude, this guy looks like $1,000,000. Like, why
Yeah,
is this guy like you look at the guy, he's handsome, he's like, and then
he's
bro,
tall.
he's tall, he's like he speaks perfect English,
And he was wearing a
so like
mask. He was
no, no,
wearing a
no,
mask
he
then,
was
so
no,
he was
no,
covering his
no,
face, wasn't he? No.
no, 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 no,
Huh.
no, no, not
This is the
Tijuana,
dressing
right?
room.
Right.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So right. So but the funniest thing is I never put because after that, Conan, what year was that? Do you remember that was like early mid 2000s, right? Because
Yes.
there was a period of time there after that. I really wasn't watching wrestling. I wasn't doing it. I wasn't working a lot. I was out of the. It's kind of like out of the business, sort of in it. I was taking bookings here and there, but when he showed up on WWE TV, I never put two and two together. That was the guy that I was
Right.
was with Tijuana. And so we saw
Right.
WWE. It's like, wow, look at this guy. So this guy looks like a, and like it took me like 6 months to realize that that's the guy that was in the locker room with me and
Right.
the Dos Caras guy. So,
Right.
so it was like, it was funny. Like I was right that this guy was going to make it big and everything because I looked at the guy and like, but I never put two and two together as it happened. So it's like
Right.
that's fascinating. Yeah, but he's bro. He just looks like the guy. Like there's not a lot of guys in this business that, especially the way they conduct themselves in public and what they wear, t-shirt, jeans, they're just like slobs. Bro, this guy just looks like $1,000,000. And like you're watching this, you look at him, he's handsome. And plus he was, when they brought him in WWE, he would ride it, he'd pull a Cadillac in, like he's driving $100,000 car. Who was the other guy who's his interpreter, his sidekick? What was the guy's name?
Ricardo Rodriguez.
Ricardo Rodriguez. He had like his sidekick. They get out. The guy's got Versace shirts on, like slacks. The guy's got
Yeah,
like $1,500,
the announcer's in a tuxedo.
$2,000 worth of clothes on and stuff like this. Guy just, you're like, wow, no wonder they're pushing this guy. This guy's got star power. He's Latino.
And let me tell you two. Let me tell you. And let me tell you two things. WWE, much like you and me, saw him with the mask on and off and said, "Why are you wearing a mask, dude?"
Right.
That's number one. Number two. Me and Court Bauer, friend of the show, but not friend of Larry Dallas from MLW.
Right.
We used to call him the Mexican James Bond, bro, because if you knew that he did outside of the ring, he was wild,
Dude fighter.
And so he's good looking,
probably
got
shoot a
girls,
gun,
can fight, the son of a legend, his uncle's Mil Mascaras, like he's royalty,
Probably is like a concealed carry,
Right.
like,
But he-
but it's like, yeah, it's like, yeah.
His problem was he got lost in that life. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
When you're
right.
popular and everybody wants to be
Right.
around, he got totally lost in that. And now, bro, he's super clean. He doesn't go out at night. He doesn't, he knows that one more scandal and nobody will give him a chance.
He's still the guy still has a lot of value.
Yeah.
If he's clean and stuff, then the guy's got a lot of value in this wrestling business. And like, I would not be surprised
Bro,
if he shows up.
We did this in ring in Guadalajara yesterday, which is the second largest city in Mexico.
Oh, really? So he's working with you guys right now?
Yes. So
Pentagon. Let's hear it.
Pentagon was on our show, right? Was supposed to be on the show. Tony came up with this Wave Dream, or what's it called? Wave Nights or
Wrestle Dream.
Wrestle Dream. He came up with Wrestle Dream at the last kind of, and Pentagon was supposed to be on that show, but he needed him for his show. So ADR was available, and we did this, bro. We did this in ring where it was QT Marshall and Sam Adonis with the American flag and that Harley Cameron girl, and I gave him some lines and they shot in some lines, and the heat was ridiculous. And all of a sudden, they put Alberto Del Rio's music, and it was like this Mexican regional music that you'll hear a lot of the boxers come out to. That place erupted, and he did a comeback. That play, and that set the table for the main event, which was hot as like he's still over because he looks like a star, bro. He knows how to carry himself like a star. He's well educated, so he's well spoken. He knows what to say.
And
he's a valuable asset.
And this is very entertaining. Not entertaining, but like, bro, the guy can call a match in the ring.
And
he's an old school professional wrestler.
Sam Adonis actually wrote to me and he goes, "Man, ADR was calling audibles in the ring," and I go, "Well, listen to him because he knows." Yeah.
But think about that. It's like the actual, like these new cats these days.
No, he wasn't complaining. He was just they're so used to going, putting a match together and following that.
They're surprised that guys can actually do that. It's like, well, that's how we were brought. That's how we were. Came into the business, learning how to do that. It's like,
bro, and it looks way more realistic. That's why it doesn't look choreographed.
That's a skill that more wrestlers, more trainers should embrace. Bro, teach people how to work. Call the match, and don't
in the ring.
In the ring, and then it's very simple when you train. because when I went to when I used to train at FSW, I was like shocked that like everybody's just like doing the spots, but like they're not calling it. I was like,
Bro,
dude,
listen to this. Listen to
call the
this.
spots. Learn how to communicate, like and stuff. Bro, nobody's learning how to call in the ring right now because the
This guy
trainers don't know
from
how to call in the ring. Go ahead.
his name, but this guy from Canada, he's a promoter, Doug something. He had taken me up to wrestle, I think Winnipeg, some other places, and he had a match, and he said, "Hey, I really want to help this guy out." I go, "Can?" He goes, "Will you stand ringside and kind of tell him what to do during the match?" So I went ringside, and I'm telling him, "Bro, I had to scream it out." Okay, I had to scream it out, and he didn't listen. And I go, "What are you doing, bro? Why'd I go out there with you?" He's so nervous trying to remember what's next in the match, you
Right.
know, and he wasn't even listening to me. I go, "Bro, you've got to learn to listen to the people. How do you know what gets a pop and what doesn't?" You know. So
It's
a lot of
it's
they
few and
stuck
far
so
between.
much.
Well, it's few and far between where they get to wrestle with somebody that knows how to call in the ring. Because they're all like doing the calling in the back. Like the funny thing about that, I remember Mike Sanders always used to joke around. I was like, "Yeah, I'm the generation of, I'm from the generation of we called everything in the back,
Right,
everything we
right,
it's like,
right,
and that's true. Like all the
right.
wrestlers, they call everything in the back like it's a scripted thing. But what if it's not working? What if the crowd's not reacting? And you just continuously just do the match you have laid out, memorized, and it's like it didn't get over, and it's like if you knew how to you know, you call on him. Here's a perfect example. This is an interesting conversation. But when I would if a match was flat, right, and bro, the easiest way to get people into the match is take the guy in the corner and just start like the old Scott Hall chops, boom, and then all of a sudden the crowd wakes up. They're like, it's like they get into it. So like you start just chopping each other. And like it's a very simple way if like the crowd's flat, get them involved because they see like guys are really whacking each other out there. Now I'm interested. And it's a very simple formula to do. If you're in there and the match you laid out isn't going, the crowd's not reacting, just stop and hey chop me back. I'm gonna give you three, turn me around, give me three. And it looks like we're getting heated in there. Like we're fighting. I don't know, but that's what I would always do when the match was flat. I just start chopping the guy, and the crowd would wait. The crowd would wake up because they hear it. It's a good little tip. So I don't know.